10 Things You Didn't Know About the Wrestler Big Van Vader. 10. Detained in Kuwait. Vader is an old-school wrestler and someone who wanted to protect the wrestling industry. During one appearance on a talk show called Good Morning Kuwait, things became heated. When the host questioned if wrestling was fake, Vader ended up losing his cool. He flipped a table and grabbed the host, with Undertaker having to try to calm things down. However, the situation didn't end up being resolved, as Vader was detained in Kuwait for 2 weeks while the situation was dealt with. 9. Acting work. Vader made 3 appearances on the popular television show Boy Meets World, which showcased a different side of his personality. He also made 1 cameo role on an episode of Baywatch as well. 8. He wrestled Will Ospreay. He wasn't a fan of Ospreay's match against Ricochet, finding it too rehearsed, and the two men got into it on social media due to their different opinions. But what some fans might not be aware of is the fact that the two men had a wrestling match. They competed in England for Rev Pro Wrestling, and it was the former WWE superstar who picked up the victory on that night. 7. His son competed in NXT. Jake Carter wrestled for WWE, but never quite made it as a major name in the industry. Because of that, most people aren't aware of the fact he was Vader's son. 6. Getting New Japan banned from Sumo Hall. In Japan, Antonio Inoki was a major star, and because the audiences take wrestling very seriously, him losing was a big deal. Vader ended up defeating him during one show, and it caused a major storm, as the fans rioted due to their frustration. Because the situation got so out of hand, Sumo Hall ended up banning New Japan from using the arena. This was the home of the promotion, so it was a major problem for them, which Vader just winning caused. Thankfully, this did end up being rescinded, and the company has since done many shows in Sumo Hall. 5. First ever Gaijin IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Vader became the IWGP Heavyweight Champion within his career. But while this was a cool achievement, it was a much bigger deal than people might realize. That's because he was the first ever Gaijin, non-Japanese, wrestler to have ever held the title. 4. Mick Foley's ear. Most wrestling fans are aware of the fact that Mick Foley lost one of his ears inside of a wrestling ring. It was a complete accident that caused the situation, but a lot of people may not know that it was Vader that Foley was facing that night. He launched Foley out of the ring, only for the hardcore legend to get caught up in the ropes. This is how he lost his ear in what was one of many brutal, bloody battles between the two hard-hitting wrestlers. 3. Being fired from WCW. Vader ended up having a brawl in the locker room with Paul Orndorff, with the two men holding nothing back in this incident. Because of that, the company decided punishments were needed, and Vader's run with WCW came to an end. 2. The Mastodon. It was a huge signing for the company at the time, and Vince McMahon billed him as the man they call Vader, which added something unique to it. However, that wasn't the original plan. That's because Vince wanted to call him the Mastodon when he first joined, as the WWE chairman often likes to fully own a name for his wrestlers. That plan didn't work out this time. 1. No titles in WWE. He was a legend who achieved a lot during his time in wrestling, and because of that, most people presume he won tons of titles throughout his career. While that was the case in various places he worked, it wasn't in WWE. Even though he was pushed at times by Vince McMahon, Vader never held a single championship during his time working for WWE.